want to bring into the conversation now New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez, who, as I mentioned, is one of the lead sponsors of the bill. Senator, thank you so much for your time. So it is a big deal, as Jacob was just mentioning, but this is the third big attempt in the past 15 years to act on immigration reform in this country. As you very well know, previous efforts in 2007 failed, 2013 failed. What is different this time around that makes you think it will get passed?
Well, thank you for having me with you. Look, in 2013, I was part of the Gang of Eight that passed comprehensive immigration reform, said it couldn't be done, with 68 votes in the Senate. Unfortunately, it died in the House of Representatives, where then Speaker Boehner never even gave it a vote. Had it, it would have passed, and we'd be talking about a whole different dynamic in our country today. So what's different is we have a president, and President Biden, who has leaned into this. The legislation that I introduced today, and Congresswoman Linda Sanchez has introduced in the House, is basically the legislation that President Biden envisioned as what we would think about in terms of finally dealing with comprehensively the question of immigration reform. So we have a president who's leaning into it. We do have a majority in the House of Representatives, and they moved certain elements of this bill in the last Congress. And then we have a narrow majority in the Senate, but it gives us three legs of a stool to finally try to make this happen. And I'm looking forward to working with colleagues on both sides of the aisle to achieve it.
Senator, let me bring in Jacob Soboroff, who has some questions for you on this as well. Jacob?
Senator, it's good to see you. I wanted to ask you about the smarter enforcement piece of all of this. I think that most Americans became familiar with the conditions migrants are held in during the family separation crisis. They saw the children kept in cages. But the reality, as you know, is that facility was built during the Obama administration. Deterrence has been a decades-long policy of the U.S. government, both Democratic and Republican. This bill does not repeal 1325, the law that allowed the zero-tolerance policy to separate families. It does not end detention of any kind for immigrants. So where is it a departure in terms of what you call smarter enforcement?
Well, in several ways. Number one is we deal with root causes, which has not been dealt with in the past. When President Trump eliminated all of the assistance that we had built into Central America, he eliminated the ability to stop the root causes of why people flee. I mean, if you're in Central America and you're a parent and your choice is to stay and see a member of your family die, or see your son forcibly put into a gang, or your daughter raped, you're going to flee. And that's the reality that we have been facing. This plan calls for a 4-year investment into Central America, assuming they meet standards on the whole rule of law, on dealing with corruption, and dealing, of course, with the root causes of what drives people. That's one big difference. The other big difference is that we also give people a safe and legal process to apply for their immigration potential, whether it be on asylum status or some other status of the law, in country, so that we don't have them fleeing and taking the dangerous trek up north and coming to our border. And then it deals with how do people get dealt with once they may show up at the border and be able to make their claims for asylum. Some will be rejected and others will be approved, but it's totally different than what we had from the present administration.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.